Welcome back, class. This is lecture third of carbon family, and today we will discuss about the carbides. Okay, so first we will talk about the definition, that how you will define carbides. See, these are the binary compounds. Binary compounds, that means two. These are the binary compounds of carbon, as we are talking about the carbon family. So binary compounds of carbon with more electropositive element, this is important, more electropositive element. So binary compounds of carbon with more electropositive. So here one exception you should remember, exception is hydrogen. Hydrogen is electropositive, but here in this case it is an exception. Okay, so binary compounds are those compounds which has more electropositive element with carbon. Some examples of binary compounds, if you go for the examples, some examples are calcium carbide, then SiC silicon carbide, WC tungsten carbide, Al4C3 aluminum carbide, BeC2 beryl carbide, Mg2C3 magnesium carbide, Fe3C iron carbide. So these are the several examples of carbides. Now the types. So types, these are mainly of three types. One is ionic, sometimes also called salt. The second one are covalent carbides, and the third one is metallic. So this is the types of carbides. See, in this particular segment, the important thing about the reaction, especially hydrolysis and the structure. Okay, so we know the second group element, that is beryllium, magnesium, calcium. Then we have a third group element also, boron, aluminium, Ga, and carbon, silicon, germanium. So this is the carbon, and these are the electropositive element which are capable to form carbide with carbide with carbon. Okay, so now the important one, very important for this particular discussion, that is the reaction, hydrolysis. Hydrolysis of carbide. So we start with the very first. If you go for the Mg 2C3 hydrolysis. Then we have second one is the BE2C hydrolysis. Then we have third, that is Al4C3 hydrolysis, calcium carbide. So what is the common in all these reactions? The common is the formation of hydroxide, because these are the metals, positive charge metals, and if we combine with water, this will give you the hydroxide. So here magnesium hydroxide, no doubt about this. Then we have beryllium hydroxide. Then we have aluminum hydroxide, 3 valencies there, and then we have calcium hydroxide. Now apart from formation of this hydroxide, one more important thing, and that is what the important in this particular discussion, that the carbides are capable to give hydrocarbons. Okay, the carbides are capable to give hydrocarbons. Like in this case, magnesium carbide will give C3H4, C3H4. Okay, then the beryllium carbide will give CH4. Aluminum carbide, this I am leaving. Okay, and the calcium carbide will give you C2H2. So along with the formation of hydroxide, there is a formation of hydrocarbon also. The question is here that how one can remember that which carbide is capable to give which hydrocarbon. How one can remember this? Because the formation of hydrocarbon occurs, like we have alkane in this case, we have alkene in this case, we have alkyne in this case. Okay, so different hydrocarbons are forming, but how it is possible to remember this? Got it? So there is a simple way to remember this. What you should keep in mind is that the hydrolysis of carbide is non-redox reaction. Very important. It is a non-redox reaction. That means there is no oxidation and reduction. And if there is no oxidation and reduction occurs, that means there is no change in the oxidant state. Non-redox means no change in oxidation state. Okay, and the second one, it is non-disproportionate reaction. Disproportionate reaction is what? Where one element in the same reaction will oxidize and reduce. So it is also not like that. So these 2 points are actually the hint for this hydrolysis. How? See, let's take the very first example, that the Mg2C3. As I told you that it is a non-redox reaction, it is a non-disproportionate reaction. It means what? It means that the carbon oxidation state in a reactant and product will be same. The oxidation state of carbon, oxidation state of carbon in reactant and product will be same. So one should know the how this oxidation state will be determined. So here I am going to determine the oxidation state of carbon in reactant for case of magnesium carbide. So magnesium is in +2 oxidation state, so it will be +4. Then this will give you 3C. Carbon oxidation we want to know, so carbon is -4/3. So the oxidation rate of carbon is -4/3 here. Now we'll check the oxidation state of C3H4 because the product is C3H4. So we'll check the oxidation state of C3H4. Okay, so for the C3H4, 3C plus 4, that is equals to 0. So carbon will be -4/3. As you can see, both oxidation is same. So here if carbon is -4/3, the product is also carbon is -4/3, and this is what the hint I told you. We look for the second. In second case of Be2C, beryllium is in +2, so it will be +4. Then carbon we want to know, so carbon is -4. Okay, carbon is -4. So what is the product here? The product is methane. So we'll find out the methane oxidation state here in carbon. So carbon is +4. So carbon oxidation state here is -4. Yes. So this is how. Now can you tell me what is the product in case of Al4C3 with the help of these two? Very simple. Only what you need to identify, you need to identify the oxidation state of carbon in reactant. So let's check it out. Al4C3. Aluminum is in +3 oxidation state, so here +12 and 3C is there. So C equals to what? -4. Got it? So we know that the carbon is in -4 oxidation state in Al4C3. So the product will be that hydrocarbon in which carbon is in -4 oxidation state. So that is what? That is the methane. So the answer here is CH4. That is why I keep blank for this. No? So this is how you can identify that what is the product, what is the hydrocarbon in hydrolysis reaction of carbide. Just check the oxidation state of carbon in reactant. Once you know the oxidation state of carbon in reactant, the same oxidation state will be in product. Okay, so this is the second and very important thing about this topic. Let's move for the structure. The structure of carbide, the structure of carbide is again an important one. So we have a structure. Okay, so let's talk about the structure. The very first structure we'll discuss the Be2C, beryllium carbide. Okay, so a very simple structure. I'll just draw this. One carbon is there, and as we know that beryllium is in +2 oxidation state, so 1Be and 1Be. Forget about the shape, whether it is linear or non-linear. Forget about that. Only we know finding the structure. So molecular structure actually, Be2C. Then the second one is what we can take, anything, calcium carbide. Okay, so CaC2. Here we have 2 carbon and 1 calcium. Okay, so carbon is bonded with carbon, triply bonded carbon. Okay, and 1 calcium like this. As we know that the carbon, when triply bond carbon, here we have a lone pair. That means these are the negative charge actually, so this will give what? 2 negative, and this will 2 negative will combine with this 2 positive. So this is how we'll draw the structure of calcium carbide. Okay, then the third one is Mg2C3. Mg2C3. So here we have 3 carbon and 2 magnesium. That means we have +4 in case of magnesium and 2. So carbon double bonded with carbon, carbon double bonded with carbon. So this is -2 because of 2. This is -2, and this will give you magnesium twice with +2 charge. So +2 will balance by these two. Okay, and then the Al4C3, the last one, Al4C3, aluminum carbide. So the aluminum carbide will be like this, Al4C3. Al4C3, that means we have 4 Al and 3 C. Okay, so 1 Al, then 1 C, 1 Al, then 1 C, 1 Al, then 1 C, so then 1 Al. Okay, so we have 1 2 3 4 Al and 3 C, and now complete the bonding. So Al is +3 charge, so it will be triple bond. Carbon is valence here, aluminum is in +3 charge. Okay, so we can, carbon is complete here, so double bond here, aluminum is complete, carbon with double bond, carbon is complete, aluminum is complete. Okay, carbon is triply bonded, so carbon is complete. So this is how the structure of aluminum carbide you can draw. So this is how you can draw the structure of different carbide. So these are the two important things in this discussion. One is the uh, hydrolysis of carbides. This is the hydrolysis of carbides, where we have discussed the formation of different hydrocarbons, and then we discussed the how you will remember that which carbides will form will give which hydrocarbon. So this is the trick with the oxidation method. Okay, and then we discuss about the structure. So with this this video is going to complete, but before the completion I have a question for you. Question is, you have SiC, so what is the other name of SiC? We know that silicon carbide is the name, okay, but what is the other name? And question number 2 is, SiC, Al4C3, Ca, C2 and Mg2C. So out of these 4, which one will give you methane? So please write your answer in the comment box, or you can WhatsApp to this number. Okay, so find out the answer and write. Thank you so much.